course, this is another episode of The Spot for Season 3, Episode 9 discussion. Oof. Okay, so a lot of stuff's happened, a lot of stuff's in motion. Right now we got Tommy and D-Mac, they're just preparing to lay JP to rest. And it's at this point where D-Mac's like, nah, he's already gone, let's go. And it's already a sad time, now we gotta see how D-Mac reacts to this, because then Diamond, the next scene, we see him just smacking Madame Wu and on the couch down in the barbershop, and Gennard just walks in. It's whatever, it's very brief, but Gennard ends up telling Diamond, once Madame Wu leaves, that he killed King Kilo, Jojo, and JP, and they gotta tell the RDs that Tommy killed King Kilo, and Gennard at the same time plans to switch over to the Marquez cartel. All while Diamond's like, what? What'd you do? You took out King Kilo? And so now they gotta sell it to the RDs, which is just an example of how far Gennard's come in terms of fucking up the game in CBI. Because now we got Miguel, who wants to go out and take out Ortega once and for all, while Tommy goes to take out Gennard, and Shanti will meet with Shay. Because remember, Shanti wants to meet with Shay and the Connect in this case specifically. But then things get conflicting a lot more, of course, because we got right here the RDs meet with Gennard and Diamond, and that's when they say JP is the one who killed Kilo and Jojo. And Grayskull, he ain't having it. He's pissed. Like, they know it's Tommy who's the problem, but they're pissed that Diamond and Gennard let him get so close and so deep in the organization that he's able to somehow run all this shit. And Grayskull is now heated, and he points to Marshall, who's like, yo, you gotta take care of your mans. And Gennard does the same thing. He tells Marshall, like, look, you're gonna take out D-Mac. Marshall's like, that's my brother. I can't take out my brother, I can't do that. So it's just an evolution of character in Marshall. Then the next scene, man, this episode's just moving by, because then Delgado and Bobby review the footage between Chan and Merkovic from 301, and that's when they realize he ain't a lawyer. He ain't registered anywhere, and they think that the cartel killed Stacy, and now they're gonna try to use this as a basis to get it going in terms of the investigation. But then it's Sang who tries to get dirt on Stacy through Vic, and through their interactions, Vic being the smart aleck here in this case, that's when he realizes that Sang is on the payroll of someone. He doesn't know who, but he knows he's on the payroll of someone, because he's more directed at trying to find out how corrupt Stacy was versus, who killed Stacy. And says, Vic then at that point is like, you know what, I'll give a statement to you, but I don't care what it says. I can say Stacy's corrupt, Tommy being responsible, but after this you let me go and I'm done. In which case, of course, Sang complies and gives him the moment to write out a statement. Then Tommy, he pulls up on Shooter and Big Smurf. Then that's when he tries to get info on Gennard. And when they don't cooperate, Shooter's like, fuck it, I'll flip over to your side, Tommy. Smurf's like, nope, you wouldn't trust me if I flipped over to your side. And then after that, Tommy just clips Shooter, kind of proving Smurf's point that, you never know if you can trust someone who's willing to just switch sides easily like that. So he tells Smurf to go tell Gennard he's looking for him. And at that point, Diamond and Gennard go to meet Ortega, and they plot out moves to get him taken out, with Ortega specifying that he's the one who's going to be able to take out Tommy and no one else. At that point, that's when CBI joins the Marquez cartel, and now the tides have shifted, because now we got CBI and the Marquez cartel versus Estrada's, the IP cartel, the Insane Princess, Estrada, Tommy, Shanti's people. It just gets deeper, so it's an all-out war at this point. And Miguel calls Tommy to let him know that he saw CBI meet with the Marquez cartel. But literally as that happens, a couple of RDs, you see C4 there with them rolling up. They pull up to kill Tommy, but then Tommy gets kidnapped in a van, and the people in the van shoot the RDs and take them all out quickly. That's when you find out that Shay kidnapped Miguel and Tommy. And Shay was pissed because Tommy was going after Ortega with Miguel. But Tommy tells Shay about CBI flipping to the Marquez cartel and selling femme for Madame Wu. And that's when Shay finally realizes, so y'all were doing the right thing, just without my permission. He in his mind, that's how he's seeing it. You're doing the right thing, I understand. So he tells him to go kill everybody. He gives the green light to wipe everyone off the map. And Shay reaffirms and directs his threats to Tommy, saying he'll kill Maria if Tommy disobeys him again. Which, you kind of see that look on Tommy. You know, you don't threaten a man like that. And that's when the Hardys now pull up to CBI at the barbershop, but once again, because everyone at this point is pulling guns on each other, Grayskull's wondering where the hell D-Mac is, because all the RDs got taken out. And Gennard laughing, he's like, how did Tommy take out 5 of you guys? It's just so funny. Grayskull doesn't have a response to that, but he just wants Tommy dead. He wants D-Mac, but then Gennard has to tell him that no, Ortega's the one taking the kill. So he's like, fuck it, I want D-Mac then. And that's when they sort things out primarily, because then Vic and Ray hop on a plane. And I'll be honest, I thought the plane was going to blow up. I thought the champagne was going to be poisoned or something to protect Sang. But as far as we see, nothing happens. The scene just cuts to Kate returning in the next scene. And then following that, Shanti meets with Shay. And he makes it very clear that Tommy will have to be with Shanti next time. And I think it's not like he doesn't hate Shanti. He doesn't hate Shanti. But I think he just prefers to do business with Tommy or people he's familiar with 100% of the time and does not want to have new faces, which I understand. But then D-Mac tells Marshall, you know, he asks him like, yo, where's Gennard at? And Marshall snaps back and pulls a gun out. You know, once Gennard, you know, it's all over D-Mac, said he needs to get this guy. Marshall says he can't take out D-Mac though once he pulls out his gun because they're brothers. You know, he got respect for him like family. But D-Mac flips it and pulls his own gun out, and Marshall says, you know what? You can't do it too. But D-Mac just shoots Marshall, takes him out. And this is the other side of D-Mac we knew that was going to come through. You know, when you lose a family member in the world of power, things change in your mind. And Maria then tells Kate that she's pregnant. So it's not bad, but something that Tommy obviously wouldn't want, because he doesn't want Kate to be nosing up in his business all the time. But then Sang tells Bobby that Vic gave a statement that Tommy killed Stacy because she was corrupt. So when Sang leaves, Delgado matches Chan, the guy who got Markovic killed, through city facial recognition and, you know, at the Tortoise Club or something like that. And that furthers her theory that the cartel killed Stacy. And this is where Bobby got kind of pissed because Sang let Vic go without Bobby, you know, talking to him. So they weren't able to move forward on that. But fast forward a little bit, you see Diamond and Tommy meet, and Diamond wants the peace, but you know it's not going to happen after what happened to JP, you know, Gennard taking out JP. Tommy says Gennard's death is the price for that peace. And that's when Diamond says, no, not happening. And Gennard, at that point, you know, flips out when he realizes Marshall's dead. And so that's when he realizes now he's being hunted by Tommy and D-Mac. Like, they're ahead of him now. And that's when D-Mac at this point tells Genesis that he basically clipped Marshall. And Genesis is worried for him as Marshall just heads out, because Gennard runs up on Kate, who's outside the grocery store shopping. And when Kate puts 2 and 2 together, she kind of realizes that Gennard is the one who killed JP, just through the interaction, saying like, you know, your son, stuff like that. And nothing happens to her, fortunately, so that's good. But Tommy gets pissed when he finds out about that and moves everyone over to Miguel's, essentially. So then Bobby, oh man, back to the whole Bobby and Sang storyline. Bobby goes to the Tortoise Club. He's sitting at a bar, and he sees Chan. Just as he leaves, as Bobby's about to leave, he sees Chan entering and sitting down with Sang, or Sang sitting down with Chan, and basically Sang is taking the envelope from Chang, and Bobby's taking photos at that point. Like, what the hell? He realizes at that point he's corrupt. And then on the power side of things, Tommy and the crew essentially get the wheels in motion because Santi's sure that CBA relocated. And that's when Diamond and Gennard essentially moved to a church to relocate. And in that moment, while everyone's getting the war on, essentially, Diamond and Gennard have a heart-to-heart where, like, Diamond's kind of apologizing for, you know, having Gennard take over CBI while Diamond was locked up for 15 years. You know, knew Gennard had dreams to play baseball, go somewhere, do things, but Diamond felt responsible for taking away Gennard's ambition and dreams. And Gennard's like, nah, And Diamond at that point is trying to see, Jannard, do you have anything else you want to say to me? Is there anything you want to get off your chest? Because he's trying to get Jannard to admit that he was the one who, he was trying to plan with Shanti to take him out, but he just wouldn't say anything. And when Jannard says, nah, nothing, you didn't cost me anything in my life. So, he was trying to low-key get him to, admit to that plan he had with Shanti, but Jannard kind of brushed it off in a way. He didn't even answer the question if he had anything to admit. He just kind of told Diamond, it's okay, you don't owe me nothing. So Diamond unfortunately never got the truth out of Jannard. But Maria, you try to see her try to book a flight, that one way to Mexico, and Kate walks up, in the room. She's kind of upset here, and it's like, you're trying to leave my son? And at that point, Raheem, you gotta love Raheem, man. Shanti's little spy in CBI. He basically passes out the waters to the shooters at the church with CBI. Basically the ones that are guarding the doors and stuff like that, and entryways. And when one soldier refuses to drink, Raheem's like walking him down a corner. It's like, I understand where you're coming from. You want to be the tough guy, run on adrenaline. Then he just slowly stabs him, offs him basically in the corner, away from everybody. And when Raheem walks back, he sees all the soldiers who drink the water are passed out, and Raheem gives the call to make the move. And that's when Tommy and everyone, Miguel, the whole squad, move in on the church. Guns blazing, shooting, a whole nine. D-Mac gets wounded, gets shot a little bit, armed by Jannard. He goes in, guns blazing too. It's crazy. And then Tommy has the drop on Jannard. He's ready. He's got that pistol loaded. Takes a shot, and Diamond hops in at the last minute, pushes Jannard, and he takes the bullet instead. Tommy looks frustrated as hell. The whole squad, Tommy's end retreats. Tommy knows he did not hit his intended target. And then you got Jannard crying, looking at Diamond just fading away in his arms. The episode ended on an interesting note, because now you got Jannard taking over the ending of the episode twice, back to back. His acting level has improved so much. I followed him from Ballers initially, and he's improved a lot. He's a great actor, and for him to be in that position where he can be an antagonist in a way, and also ending the show, being part of the main finale and all that, and the main cast, it's interesting. I thought Jannard would actually be off this season, but so far he's survived every single thing, and we'll have to see in the finale what goes forward. But of course, this is another episode of The Spot. Power Force finale coming soon. Peace.